Hey guys, what's going on? We have a brand new hero pool this week, but first things first, I have a brand new setup, new everything basically. So it might look a little bit differently. It's still a work in progress. We'll see how it looks, and we'll continue to improve. So please leave your feedback on if the video looks really weird or the camera or light, whatever, or audio, anything like that. Please, thank you. So let's jump right into it. We have a brand new hero pool this week. Most of you who are, pretty familiar with the channel and pretty familiar with how we do these hero pools, kind of know exactly what we do. But basically, I review the hero pool, I review the heroes in the pool, and whether or not you should go for this pool based on your individual heroes and how many tickets you have. Those are kind of the two most important things when you're talking about hero pools. So here's the hero pool. This again is for everybody in season X. So all the younger states in like seasons 4, 3, 2, 1 do not have this, but for all of us in season X, this is what we have. So it's a seasonal recruitment. Here we go. It's every single season X hero, including all the orange heroes, all the purples, all the blues, per usual. All the other ones are included in the super recruitment pools, but it's every single season X hero. So I'm not going to go over every single hero individually. That would take forever. This would be another AO's long specialty videos. I'll try to do this brief, try to make it quick. So first things first, we have profit. I'm just going to give like an overall kind of estimation on this pool and whether or not you should go for it. Overall, I don't think you should go for this pool. There are 24 heroes in this pool. That's a ton of heroes. 24 heroes. If you don't have like all of the copies for these heroes, in 24 you basically take 75, multiply that by 24, and then multiply that by 4. So if you're looking to get, let's say, Wrath, you have 0 copies of Wrath, you want to get 3 copies of him, you would take 75 times 24 times 3. That's kind of the probability-wise, like that's sort of how many tickets you can expect to unlock Wrath. Obviously, you could get them in 10 tickets. You could get 3 Wraths in 10 tickets. But that's pretty much never, ever going to happen. And if it does, congratulations, you pretty much won the LSS lottery. So there's just far too many heroes in this pool. Obviously, 24 times 4, which is so basically to max one hero, that's what, 100 times 24. So you would need thousands and thousands and thousands of tickets. So don't go for this pool. But let's talk about the heroes in case you really, really want to, or you have like 3 copies of a bunch of these heroes and you just want to max them out, or you have 2 copies of a bunch of these heroes and you have like 1,000 tickets. Let's kind of go over the math and whether or not it's worth it. So the current meta of Season X is actually pretty damn good, in my opinion. There are a lot of heroes that can be used. It's fairly balanced. Every single APC basically has at least one counter, or even multiple counters in some cases. Some heroes directly counter other heroes. It's in a pretty good state for me, that in my opinion. I'm kind of a fan of all these mixed APCs, especially with Baneblade. It works really, really well. So if you don't have Baneblade, you can still use mixed APCs. I will do a video about that soon. You just need to mix your parts, your golden parts, and your heroes kind of accordingly. So Prophet's definitely in the meta right now. Currently, she's an incredibly good wall type of hero, especially for your defense. It's really, really hard to get through Prophet with a single APC. It's obviously doable. She's very versatile. She can go with a lot of different APCs on a lot of different combos. She can go in different rows, so first, middle, or last. So she's all around a pretty good hero, and she's definitely in the meta currently. Huntress, also in the meta for sure. She's one of the most strongest damage dealing heroes in the game, and if you aren't prepared for Huntress, she can just rip through your entire base, or at least your reinforcements or whatever. Next up we have Shadow. He's never really been in meta. I actually do use him in my defense queue currently. I do Shadow, Nomad, Koshé in that order, just to basically get around Huntress. It's the only purpose of that APC is to just kill heavy vehicle APCs. Scarlet Siren's somewhat in the meta. She's kind of on the cusp. You can use Siren in full fighter APCs, and it's actually pretty good. So something like Prophet, Siren, Cannon S, that works really well, even on attack, surprisingly. Because fighters aren't generally known for their attacking, but it does work very well, and you can use that. So she's kind of on the cusp. She goes into some APCs. Sometimes she just gets overshadowed by the other heroes, though. Wrath currently just fantastic. He is the meta, basically. Get Wrath if you can. Predator, she's also really, really good. She's very strong in the meta currently. She's not a great hero on her own, but with the other tools like a Huntress or a Nomad or somebody like that, she performs very, very well. Rose is basically just completely out of the meta. She's a pretty bad hero just in general and isn't really used in the kind of top meta. So when I do talk about meta, I should explain what I'm talking about. I'm talking about kind of the top APCs or the most used APCs. So it might not necessarily be the best APCs, but the most used APCs are kind of meta, and it's what, legendary states, people with max spaces are using, generally kind of trickles down to everybody else. So that's what I'm referring to the meta. Rose is kind of outside of that meta. She's not used by like really any maxed base, and you'll very rarely see Rose combos either attacking or defending. So that's what I consider her out of the meta. Glutton is also kind of on the cusp, just like Scarlet Siren. He's had his runs where he's been a very meta hero, but at this point he's kind of being subjugated to the bench a little bit. He still goes well with support. He's still a great tank. He goes well with support and a damage dealer, so you end up having two supports and a damage dealer. Those combos still pretty much work just in general, and you can kind of mix and match your heroes to fit that. Canoness is definitely in the meta right now. She has had her ups and downs. I've rated her as a 2, 3, whatever. But currently she is a meta hero. Organic is kind of also on the cusp. He really only goes in like 1 or 2 APCs, and it's basically just vehicles. So you can do something like Organic. Heaven's Death Rider still works really well, but that's more or less the only kind of combo that works really well with Organic. The Lone Wolf has never been in the meta, and she continues to not be. She is a bench warmer, and that's where she belongs. If you have her, just use her in the back row, and probably fighter. So instead of like Scarlet Siren, you can replace it with the Lone Wolf, but Next up we have Kamikaze. Kamikaze is still very, very solid. He's just been strong forever since he's been released. He's still definitely in the meta. You can run him vehicle. You can run him in mixed APCs. You can run him middle. You can run him front. He's very, very good right now. Nomad has actually taken a big hit. So Nomad used to be probably my top 3 hero in the game. One of my top 3 heroes in the game. At this point, he's kind of relegated, and that's sort of just due to shooters. Shooters are very, very weak right now. Fighters and vehicles are really, really strong, and even if you have shooters versus vehicles in a mixed APC, those vehicles can win and oftentimes do win. I do use Nomad in my defense queue, and again, that's just to beat down vehicles coming to attack me. Next up, we have the Koshé. I'm also using the Koshé in my defense queue, but that's really it. He really only goes with the Nomad. You used to be able to actually flex Koshé in the back row, which was kind of cool, but at that point, that's really, really niche. So in general, Koshé's kind of out of the meta. Again, he's okay in shooters, but that's about it. Next up, we have Heaven's Redemption, who's definitely in the meta. He's really, really strong. He counters a lot of heroes. He counters Huntress. He works well with Prophet. He works well with Cannon. Obviously, he works well with vehicle. He's just an all-around really, really good hero. And especially with the introduction of Huntress, Heaven's Redemption's stock value has gone way, way up. He's one of the best counters to Huntress. Then we have Death Rider. Death Rider's been great forever. He's probably my favorite hero, or one of them. Obviously due to the fact that he's incredibly strong, and that's still consistent throughout. He's also really important for tiles, especially in Total War, where you can't get your destruction up, your vehicle destruction above 500 without using blue skills. Death Rider can, makes him very, very important. You should get him if you can. Then we have Iron Sentinel. Iron Sentinel's pretty meh. He's never really been in the meta. Like I said, he has had some very niche picks or very niche combos, but at this point, he's kind of sitting on the sidelines. We have Betrayed, similar situation to Rose, just not good enough in really any combo. He goes on the sideline as well. You can use him in like shooter. You can do like Valkyrie, Betrayed, Hummingbird, and it has the opportunity to be okay, but generally it's going to lose against a lot of combos, so I wouldn't really recommend running that. Then we have Crusher. Crusher, in my opinion, I'm not a huge fan of Crusher. I know some people do like to run Crusher pretty often. I think he's just a bad kamikaze, basically. But if you don't have kamikaze, then you can run Crusher, and you can run them in similar combos, like similar vehicle combos. You can run them with like Anna Ivan. That's pretty good. I have done like Crusher Caesar Farseer is actually a decent combo. So you can almost replace them with kamikaze, but not exactly, not really in the mixed APCs. Next up, we have Hunk, the God. Just kidding. Hunk has actually fallen out of the meta pretty significantly with the introduction of Huntress. You're basically removing Predator from that Hunk Predator Nomad combo, which was like reigning supreme for a long time. Now you basically do like Anna Predator Huntress or TP Predator Huntress. You can still run Hunk Predator Huntress and it's still good. But there are just a couple options that are slightly better, so Hunk has kind of fallen. Valkyrie has been kind of on the bench for a while. She had a really, really good combo, Valkyrie and a Nomad. That combo still works, mind you. It takes a lot of damage, so it's not very good for like burning through 5 APCs, for example. It's just going to sputter out eventually, and it's not that good for defending because you're going to be losing a lot of troops. It's still usable, and especially if you need it, go for it. You just expect to lose quite a few troops. Also, that Valkyrie and a Nomad, you can use that with complete Ranger parts, so you don't need Baneblade. So some people don't use this combo just because they don't have Baneblade. You don't need it at all. Next up, we have Sven. So Sven's an interesting hero. Really, really bad in combat. Always been really, really bad in combat. Really, really good in tiles. So it's really a hit or miss. I personally recommend getting Sven. I think having that tiling capability from Sven is very, very important, and I would actually put emphasis on it. But I'm also the type of person who thinks the development heroes are important, and I kind of push to get development heroes. Some people don't. Some people don't care at all. They're just going to attack everybody, take all the resources, whatever. That's kind of the same situation with Sven. So in my opinion, it's important to have that tiling capability that Sven provides. For some people, they just care about base to base. If you just care about base to base, totally skip Sven. Pretty bad. If you like tiling, you like Doomsday, or you find the importance in it, then you need Sven, basically. The Patriot, awful hero. Sit him on the bench. That's it. The Wanderer, awful hero. Sit him on the bench. You don't want him at all. So that's about it, guys. I wasn't giving like the number ratings. I'm not giving all the APCs. I'm just sort of talking about the overall theme of these heroes. Hopefully you understand what I mean. There's just too many heroes nowadays in Season X to really go through and talk about a hero pool like this. I will be releasing a Prophet and Huntress deep dive video because people have been asking about it for a while, and I've just kind of pushed it off. I do have some written documents, some written guides for both of those heroes that I will have during that video, and you can share online or with your buddies or on Discord or with your mom. Okay, guys, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Like I said, please let me know the setup, if it's weird, if there's like obvious glitches in the audio or video or something. My resolution is entirely changed, but I believe the video should remain the same. If it doesn't, please let me know. All right, guys, that's about it. Stay safe, stay having fun. Have a good day. Have a great night. Have a great morning, whatever it is. Good morning, good morning. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Wake up, early mornings, late nights, hopping on a different flight. What's the meaning of life, ayy? Wake up, same-ish, different day. Make a wish, call it pray. Am I sick, am I okay, ayy? Stay up.